Welcome. Okay, this is amazing. So this is the first thing we're doing on Zoom. And as you can see, I'm here in the shul holding down the fort.
Still in your tie and jacket.
And it's actually quite, I mean, I don't know about you, but it's actually amazing because like I certainly can feel the connection with all of you here right now.
Likewise.
And it really, thank God we live in a time where there's this kind of technology. And all I keep thinking is, I wish I had stock in Zoom right now. We're going to do what we can do.
Hello, the roses.
All right, I'm just going to keep experimenting and see what this is like. So I'm going to be doing a lot of singing over this Shabbos. I'm going to be singing with Sally tonight, Kabbalat Shabbat at 6:30, and then tomorrow. So we're going to start with a little nigun here. And if it doesn't feel too weird, you can join me in the nigun, okay? I'll do a simple one that we all maybe can know, okay? So.
And they're sharing separate.
Yeah.
You know what? Instead of a nigun, let's sing Hine Matov. Hine Matov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov. Shevet achim yachad. Hine matov. Shevet achim yachad. Lai 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 lai.
Oh, it's real loud in there.
Different people, right?
Lai 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 lai. Boker Tov, everybody, and we're going to sit here for a 30-minute mini teaching and short meditation together, because Lord knows we can use a little meditation right now. I can't even watch the news anymore. It's too freakish. So instead,
We mute ourselves.
What's that?
Should we mute ourselves so you don't get ambient noise?
So that's a good idea, Judy. I can mute everybody.
You can mute.
I'm going to mute everybody so you can hear me, and then I'll put it on unmute when I want us all to talk. It works. Yeah. Okay, you are all muted now. Hopefully you can hear me. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. So make sure everything's working. So what I want to start with today is a recognition that we're at a special place in the Torah this Shabbos that we're about to have. Not only is it Shabbat HaChodesh, one of the Shabbatot leading up to Pesach, whatever Pesach's going to be like this year, we'll have to see. But it's also the end of the book of Exodus. We come to the end. It's Parshat Vayakhel Pekudei. And, I was sitting sort of flipping through the Parsha, and I was thinking, is there some nice little sort of, some little chop for meditation in Vayakhel Pekudei? And you know what? I didn't see it directly in Vayakhel Pekudei, but I saw it at the very end of Pekudei. You know what it says at the end of the book of Exodus? It says the words chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Now that is a good thing for us to be meditating on right now. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. The Hebrew word chazak in this context means be strong. So chazak, be strong, V'nitchazek means, and we will strengthen each other. So I can't think of a more beautiful thing for us to be thinking of. You know, certainly in my life right now, as I'm sure in every one of our lives right now, what we're dealing with is a sense of feeling really out of control. We just suddenly don't have any control over what's happening around us. It's very scary. All kinds of dire things on the news. And we're feeling out of control and we're feeling powerless. And, you know, in order to kind of lift up the meaning of chazak, v'nitchazek, I want to direct our attention to the psalm that we say, not at this time of year, but in the month of Elul and in the period of the High Holy Days. That's Psalm 27. That also has the concept of chizuk, or strengthening in it. It says, I don't need to read, I know it already. Lulei he'emanti lirot betuv Adonai be'eretz chaim, which means, would that I could see the goodness of God in the land of the living, in the land of life. Chazak v'yametz libecha, kaveh el Adonai, hope to God. Chazak v'yametz libecha, strengthen and make strong your heart, the kaveh el Adonai, and direct your heart toward God. So just that first line, lulei hemanti, if only I could have faith. That you know, there are certain times in life when suddenly the meanings of the Psalms become so incredibly clear. I think we all are right there right now. Lulei hemanti lirot betuv Adonai. If only I could be absolutely certain right now that I'll be able to leave my house and go back to my normal life in the Eretz Chaim, in a living, normal land, in a normal society, the way that I've always known. Lulei, if only. We're right in that pasuk right now. We're right in that. If only we could do this, but we can't. We're not feeling like we have the control. We don't feel like we have the power. Lulei, if only. So what's the next line? Kaveh el Adonai. Kaveh, that's the same concept of like direct, like, you know, to direct forward, to direct toward Adonai. Whatever God means to you, I want you to direct your heart toward that. Chazak v'yametz libecha. So let's take a second with that, to find strength and reinforcement of your heart mind. The lev in biblical Hebrew is not just your heart, it's your heart mind. In Jewish philosophy, as it were, the heart and the mind are not separate things, they're connected, and I think that's actually true. Right? That we have to find the strength from within our heart minds. And that strength is there. It is implanted within us by God. When we direct our hearts toward God, our heart minds toward God, that is both a direct upward and outward, but it's also a direction inward to our capacity for strength to weather this, right? So that's what we need. So when we talk about chizuk, we talk about chazak, it's actually a recognition of the power that we have. We are not powerless right now. We have access to infinite power and infinite life source right now when we find the chizuk that is alive within us right here, right now. And that strength that we can find is going to carry us through this. I know that that's hard to hold on to it in moments when we're freaking out and we're seeing the terrifying reports and the numbers climbing and all of that. And that's why it is so incredibly important to come into the present moment. Because right here is infinite power and infinite life. We are not powerless over this. We have incredible power right in this moment. And so that's what we're being directed to now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take us into a sit. We're going to sit for a couple of minutes. I'm going to teach one more mini teaching, and then we're going to sit again. And then I'll wish you a Shabbat Shalom until I see you at 6:30. But right now, I'm going to ask you to, if you're able to sit in a comfortable but alert position. Okay? I'm going to ask you to be alert but relaxed now. So not leaning back in your chair, if possible. If possible, to have yourself in a balanced seated position with your feet planted on the ground. And what I want us to do now is simply breathe into our own solidity, into the strength and power of our bodies, simply in the act of sitting. So what I want us to do now is just open your awareness now to the aliveness of your body. I want you to just see where the strength in your body that's supporting you right now and keeping you alive is active and vibrant. Can you feel the muscles in your back? Without needing to tense them, just see how, left to their own devices, the muscles are holding you up. The muscles in your neck, the muscles acting in magnificent coordination, keeping your body balanced and upright. We can bring our awareness to the truth that just those muscles are alive with electrical energy and strength. And let's get even more subtle. Just bring your awareness to your face and your head and your scalp, to your skin, to all of the tiny muscles and sensations that are functional and alive in this moment, just there. And then move down to your neck. Notice the interaction between your neck and your head. And the strength in your shoulders, your chest, your upper back. Notice how it's rising and falling with your breath. Moving down to your belly and your lower back, your arms, hands and fingers. Notice the power of the breath. How you're being breathed by your body, and all your muscles and sinews and bones and organs are happening in perfect harmony, welcoming in the breath and allowing the breath to leave, and then welcoming it again. Meanwhile, our awareness is coming down our legs, our calves, to our feet. Feel the miracle of strength that is happening now in your body. That's your health. Feel your healthiness, your aliveness. how it's being gifted to you with every breath you take, with every beat of your heart. Now feel the solidity of your body on the chair. Feel the power of gravity that's holding you, keeps you grounded on this earth. Feel your connection to the solidity of the earth beneath you now. The solid aliveness of your body, the strength that animates you, so literally connected to the earth and the power and strength of the earth beneath you now. That the tremendous power and strength of this planet is your strength. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. Live in this strength, in this life force, in this power. Be in this strength now. And in this moment, we know that we are all connected together through that strength. And in this way, through our connection to the earth and in our souls, we are giving strength to each other. Feel the strength flowing to you from everybody who can hear my voice. Strength of spirit that nourishes the strength of body. That is also a part of you now. Take a couple of minutes in quiet meditation, and then I'll come back. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. So I have one more teaching I want to teach us. We might go like 5 minutes a little late. I hope that's okay. It's related. Another word for strength or power is the Hebrew word oz. And so we're exploring the notion of strength and finding strength and countering powerlessness. Actually, two verses come to mind. One is from Shirat Hayam, right? Ozi v'zimrat ya, vayli lishua. Ozi v'zimrat ya, vayli lishua. My strength and my song of God is my salvation. That's the best translation I can figure out at the moment for that. Strength is salvation. God is my strength. Ozi. I like exploring this word right now because it also helps us find strength. There's also Psalm 29, which is a very beautiful expression. It says, Adonai oz le'amo yitain. God gives strength to God's people. Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. God will bless his people with shalom, with peace. Our rabbis teach us that in this context, the word oz doesn't just mean strength, it means Torah. So God gives us Torah, God gives us oz. The Torah that we have is our strength. And another way of thinking of Torah is wisdom. It's insight. And we get a lot of wisdom, a lot of insight, a lot of Torah from simply sitting. Right? So Adonai oz le'amo yitain. God gives us many points of access into Torah. And what we're doing right here is another way into Torah, into this wisdom, this divine wisdom that is a blessing of shalom. And it can give us peace. So I guess this is the one simple idea I want to direct us to for our final sit today is, what is the source of real strength? The greatest strength in the world comes from our ability to access shalom, to access peace. Peace, shalom, is actually one of the names of God. So you want to know how to kaveh al Adonai? You want to know how to intend yourself to God? Go inside and find the place where shalom lives. Here's the thing, folks. Our tradition teaches us over and over again, in many different forms, in many different ways, that we all have this sort of spark of God within us, this pinta yid, whatever you want to call it, this spark of something that connects us to the divine. That spark of something is also what animates us and what gives us that strength that we were just feeling in our sit just now. But that spark of strength, of life force, or chiyut as we call it, life force, is also, in its essence, stillness. It's being still. It's shalom, it's peace. And what's beautiful about this idea of the ultimate strength, which is stillness, is that beneath all the Sturm and Drang of our minds and of our world and of our TVs and our news feeds, beneath all of that, there is always this place of stillness. And that's the place where we find the presence of God. And what we do through multiple Jewish practices is we figure out ways of accessing that stillness. Because in that stillness, that's where our strength comes from. So ironically, we might have a fight or flight instinct when it comes to the scary stuff that's around, but actually the answer is just the opposite in this kind of situation. Right? We're being asked to stay at home, to distance. So this is a beautiful opportunity to find the strength that comes from simply learning how to be still. And that stillness will heal our minds. It will give us strength and help us to heal each other. So that's why it says, Chazak, Chazak, Vanit Chazek. Be strong, and we will strengthen each other. The more we can cultivate this quality of finding stillness, the more we're actually helping everybody else. Some of us feel very out of control because we can't do more to help people. You know how you can do something right now? Find your own stillness. So let's take the last couple of minutes here and find relief and strength in the peace that is alive within us in every moment. Again, let's sit in a way that is comfortable for us for meditation. I want to invite everybody to take a nice full breath in and release. A nice full breath in and release. And allow the simple miracle of breathing in. Breathe us fully and joyfully into our physical bodies. And breathing out, letting go of all of the stress and the toxicity of the scary thoughts. Breathe in the strength of the universe that is all around us. And breathe out the illusions of fear, the nightmarish thoughts that plague our minds. Breathe in the stillness. And exhale the madness. And allow the breath to be this cleansing agent. Now, with each moment, our minds go off into thoughts or worries or concerns. We come back to the breath and breathe it all out, and then breathe in the stillness and the strength. And as we breathe, become aware of the life force that lives in your heart of hearts. Let the breath carry us there, to the source of our being that lives beyond the ego, that lives beyond the worries, the anxieties, the powerlessness. Let the breath carry us to the still point, the ineffable still point from which we actually emerge. And that still point is filled with a loving presence. In fact, it is love. And it's infinite. Just breathe into that shalom. That shalom that is only in the present moment. It's always in the present moment. All we have to do is breathe into it, and it's here. An infinite peace and an infinite love. Which is also infinite strength. The only real strength there is. Just allow the breath to settle our minds, to open our hearts. And to bear witness to the shalom, to the peace that is always there, is always here. Rosi vezimratya vaili lishua. Rosi vezimratya vaili lishua. Hozi vezimratya vaili lishua. Hozi vezimratya vaili lishua. Ay, la, la. lai la lai. Hai lai lai la lai. Hai lai ai. Hai lai lai. Lai 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 la lai. Hai lai ai la lai la lai. Hai lai lai. Hai lai la lai lai. Hai lai ai la lai. Hai lai ai la lai la lai. Hai lai ai. Yai lai la lai. Yai lai lai ai la lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai. Yai lai lai. I'm going to put the sound on again in case anybody has any questions. Okay, so we can all hear each other again.
That was wonderful.
I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody. Anybody have any
Thank
questions
you.
about the
Thank you
practice,
so
or
much.
teaching, or anything like that?
Thank you.
You.
Thank
I
you.
think this Zoom has really brought me into a feeling of contact with all of you, especially the ones that I see on the screen.
Yes.
Thank you.
It makes a difference. It does.
Thank
Good.
you.
Good. Okay, well, we'll tune in next week.
Shabbos.
All right.
See you, Bob.
Shalom, everybody. See you on
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Bye.